The brain likes what is known. So that's why it's so hard to get out of that comfort zone.
When you want to keep growing and expanding, there's new levels to it all. And you have to live in that discomfort. And if you're not living in that, then you have to ask yourself, like, hey, am I being the best version of myself? Am I helping like as many people as I possibly can?
It's not that we want the downtime, but we enjoy this work. Like, we enjoy waking up with a purpose every day and just giving it all we got.
So we need to learn. We can't just wake up at noon.
No, beat the sun up, we like to say.
Yeah,
So
that thing
heck
where it must be nice to be an overnight success.
Yeah.
That ain't real.
Even though
Whoever's
growing,
saying that ain't real.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not it.
People tend to only see the results.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Our potential, it's exponential.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another Abundant Souls episode. Today I have GrowInn Homes. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you for
Thanks
having
for having
us. Yeah.
Heck yeah. And
Excited.
yeah, you guys are out there, you're doing it, and I just wanted to bring you guys on to talk about your concept and about what you're doing because anyways, you're on the front lines of really like putting plants in the ground. So tell them, what do you guys do and why are we here?
Yeah, that's the goal, getting plants in the ground. So
Yeah.
a little about us. We're a new company. We just started GrowInn Homes this year, but it's a new company based off of past experience. So we're in the real estate space and we're buying properties all around the state. I would say though,
What type of properties?
we're buying multifamily properties
Heck yeah.
specifically, and
Yeah, like what does your business do? Like what do you guys sell?
Yeah, so we're actually bringing. We want to create edible landscaping and bring those to the properties that we're buying. Yeah, so for the residents, the tenants, the communities, to teach others, to actually have very healthy natural food growing right outside, your door as a resident.
Wow.
Yeah.
To the properties you're buying.
Yeah.
Exactly,
And you asked
yes.
what we sell. It's more like we're selling the experience.
Mm-hmm.
We're buying the multifamily apartment complexes, and if there's renovations needed to the units, we're fixing those up, making it a good environment on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And then while we're fixing up the inside, we're pimping out the outside with
Yes.
edible landscaping.
I love it because
Yeah.
most people don't even think about the outside.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Developers and stuff, right?
Yeah, and that's what we're really trying to change here. And by the way, I'm Vince. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
we introduced ourselves.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
Vince
yeah.
Coletti over there.
Anthony Coletti,
I'm Camila Coletti.
Yeah.
Amazing. These
brothers, and my beautiful wife
yeah.
here.
Yeah, this is the powerhouse team coming at you from GrowInn Homes. Vince, thank you for
Yeah, man.
yeah. And if you guys want to talk about your background, how you guys got into this too, it's a pleasure to have you guys. And but I really just wanted to have you guys on and just talk about like your vision, right? And like what you guys are doing out here.
For sure. Yeah. So,
man.
I mean, to take it all back a little bit, kind of how we've, come to be, if you will, the experience and the real estate side of things. And we'll get into more like about how we got into planting and growing food. So, what do you think of that? Maybe going into a little bit
man.
about the
Yeah,
journey and
I want to show people like, cause you guys have property and stuff and you're
Yeah,
planting. And like to a lot of people, that's like, whoa, when can I ever do that? I mean, I can never see myself doing that in Florida where it's $1 million maybe to get in the game. Tell people how exactly.
So yeah,
Your
I mean,
skills.
it's it's not like an overnight success company, so I've been in real estate now for about 8 years, coming on 9. And, before that, I always had a good work ethic. I played baseball in college and, all that good stuff. And, I graduated and
What college?
FIU down in Miami. Yeah. Yeah. So I've always had that work ethic and, all of us really,
Yeah.
Vince played ball as well for the Oakland Athletics.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck
We'll
yeah.
get into that a
Professional.
little.
Yeah. So
Baseball, but yeah.
So I the reason I say that is because it's in being an entrepreneur and being in business, as you have to have that work ethic. It's not easy, and there's
discipline.
always
Athletes have that kind of in them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they
For
don't know
sure.
how to like channel it.
yes,
But
Yeah.
exactly. I always say it's just a different game. If it's baseball or we played baseball and So, that to get to a high level there, like you have to put in the work and the time and the energy and the ups and downs.
To the game.
Exactly.
So that's
PBD
discipline?
talks about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The discipline.
Yeah.
So,
Discipline.
yeah, exactly.
So talk about you guys, because you guys are all reading a book together as a team.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if many 25, 30-year-olds are doing that, like, as a unit. So I just like, that's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what made you do that?
So,
Yeah.
So, I mean, you want to go into the book or like you want to, let's.
So the reason why we wanted to read a book as a team was part of the culture, right? Like we yes.
Kami crushes it. Tell me about
That's
that.
what it is. Yeah.
The culture.
Yeah, the culture in a company is really important because you want to feel that like your team is carrying your mission because they actually believe in it and they feel it, not just because it's a job and they have to do it.
Facts.
But because like
especially right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Like people don't want to work hourly and there's like a labor shortage.
Yeah.
It's
And
crazy.
right?
Yeah. So in order for us to combat that, the labor shortage, people need to feel a part of the company.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just add value to us as the leaders of the company, but it also to as a team because we are sharing stories when we're reviewing the book and we get to know more about each other like deeply outside our company.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anthony, you were talking about like really how you got there.
Yeah. And
It's different than what people think. Like, what does it really take?
Yeah. And that's a great question. And, I'm trying to give more of the shorter answers because I tend to really tell a detailed story. So,
Oh yeah.
So
We're
yes,
all
so
talkers.
the baseball, being at a young age, growing up, playing sports, team, culture, everything, community, friends. So that evolved into, having a bunch of jobs that didn't relate to real estate, but each job that I did take on, I had 4 or 5 jobs after college.
At a time.
And, I got my real estate license and, wanting to get into the fixing and flipping side of the business. But I wanted to learn everything I could, so I figured I needed a real estate license as an agent. So I got my license. I had a bunch of cards.
While you're still working.
Yeah, so the reason I
Yeah.
really wanted to have a lot of jobs is to be able to pass cards and tell people like, hey, if I could help any of you, your family or friends, anyway in real estate, I'd love to help them, love to have a chance. And I gave a lot of those cards out, and I didn't have many people that wanted me to, help them with services. But, I did get a couple. I started after, it took me 9 months to make my first commission in the real estate business.
9 months.
9 months. So,
There's something that I
When was-
really like about your story.
okay.
And is the fact that you were grinding through the whole process. That it was not like, okay, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
a
I
real
was
estate investor
strategic.
and just do. If it does, like if it happens, it does. You actually made it happen, and you stayed patient through 9 months of not seeing results.
Yeah, and I had the 4 or 5 other jobs, which I had income coming in from that, and I was passing out cards. I was they call it, what is it, DMing. I was DMing people back then. That was in 2016 or 2015.
2016.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I had my Facebook
7 years
page.
ago,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I was still in high school and I was watching him.
Wow.
I've been looking up to Anthony my whole life, and when he did start getting successful with the real estate investing, he would bring me in to scrape the popcorn. I was still in high
Ceilings.
school, college. Yeah, the popcorn off the ceilings. Take
That's
out the
not easy work,
wallpaper.
bro.
No,
It's not easy, but
There's
you don't have
steps.
to think a lot. It's more just
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
get rid of
And-
that right there. All right.
In the
Like,
off season,
that-
you'd come and help.
Yeah, in the off
Wow.
season, I'd come and help and provide service. Bring some of my teammates. They'd pay us by the day, which was nice. Get some pocket change.
yeah.
In college, you don't have the most money, so it was nice getting some money for some food. But
Yeah.
I've watched this whole transition throughout. We're 7 years apart, and after college, I did 3 years professionally with the Oakland A's. I got drafted out of Florida Atlantic, and then like you said, in the off season, that was my off season job.
Wow.
What position?
FAU and FIU.
FAU, FIU.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
like
always
that.
we
I like
always
that.
beat FIU.
Yeah, they did. They kind of crushed us every
Yeah,
time.
we
They
would
didn't
crush
just they didn't just beat us.
Yeah.
Like, they would,
Florida has good baseball. People
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a pitcher. We're both
Yeah, I was a
pitchers.
pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Studs.
But-
So this is what it is, guys. Exactly.
So, yeah.
Studs. How did you guys become studs?
Oh, a lot of work.
A lot of work.
putting in the
Yeah,
time.
this isn't-
I
we
started
weren't
playing
born.
baseball at 3, and I played till I was 24.
Yeah.
And now it's like at 24 is when I started really full-time into real estate. I was part-time in later years of high school, and then all through college I was dabbling. But then, I fully emerged into it. And I think, what Kami said about the 9-month thing where Anthony, but while he was, waiting for that commission check, he was still working hard. Like, I don't remember the last time that we've taken like some downtime.
Wow.
But like,
Fact.
it's not that we want the downtime. Like, we enjoy this work. Like,
Yeah.
we enjoy waking up with a purpose every day
That's
and
right.
just giving it all we got.
That's right.
That's it.
Because
All in.
I put in big weeks, bro, since 2016.
Yeah, you know how it
Yeah.
is.
I started in
You know
2017.
how it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. You
so that's
know.
why I want you
Exactly.
guys here, because exactly, we need to learn. We can't just wake up at noon
Yeah.
No.
and get live in
Wake
the
up before the sun. Beat the sun up, we like to say.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that
heck
thing
yeah.
where, oh, must be nice to be an overnight success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't,
Yeah.
that
doesn't
ain't real.
exist.
Even though
Whoever's
growing-
saying
yeah.
that ain't
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not it.
People tend to
we're
only see
here-
the results.
Yeah.
Exactly. But let's talk about like really what got us there, because I want to provide value, and you guys
Sure. Yeah.
are on it. Exactly. So like you are helping Anthony now. Same thing you were doing then, but
Yeah.
now at GrowInn Homes.
Yeah, now we're more, together. It's less of me like helping, and now it's like we're full time, all
Oh,
three
yeah.
of us, and we have a team that helps us out too. They're overseas, and that's who we do the team book calls with. Every Friday, we put ourselves on the clock for 5 minutes, and then we go over our review.
Each person.
On
Yeah,
Fridays.
each person. Every Friday.
Yeah.
Today.
Each person
Today.
has 5
Today we
earlier
have-
we had it. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
3 chapters a
Yes.
week right now.
And
We may crank it up.
Wow, we're gonna get this going. UA, we gotta step our stuff up.
Yes,
It's pretty
exactly.
cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It really
That
is.
sounds good.
You know, it's everybody's helping.
So Anthony, exactly. Let's talk about it, because hey, we get a little success and we made $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, whatever. You're buying, you're selling homes. You're the man. How does it? Why are you still here and like making moves? Were you were having to be smart about where that money went, right, along the way?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
really good question.
Yeah, great question. So yeah, that kind of taking it back a little bit to that first deal. It wasn't anything crazy. It was like a $2,400 commission check, but it was I was excited about it.
Yeah.
I ended up trying to buy the property first, and then I listed it. I ended up listing it as an agent, but that's a whole nother story.
Wow.
So yeah, the first, I would say 4 or 5 deals, like I was an agent, and I helped either somebody sell their home, buy a home. And I ended up selling a warehouse too. It was an auto mechanic shop. And I got into fixing and flipping about 3 years into my real estate journey. It took me 3 years to really okay, I think, I had a mentor. Shout out to Dave Dinkle. He's the man.
Hey.
So I wanted to shout him out. Yeah. And
He helps you
his,
wholesale,
and his wife, Nancy.
And then he
Yes.
helped you flip them.
Yes. Well, he basically helped with the blueprint. He didn't he's
Same work.
what we
Hey,
talked.
I've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
How we
Or
do
like
it.
the education.
The
side of it,
education.
Yeah.
What we talked about before about the worth ethic and the drive and never quitting. And, I remember a lot of times getting on the phones with people and stuttering, and they'd ask me something and I'd say, blah, 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 like I wouldn't even know what to say. And then I'd hang up and I'd take a deep breath. Yeah. I remember
It's
those
real.
days. Yeah. Like
Because you
It's
guys were
real.
cold
yeah,
calling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Co- all
Yeah.
kinds
Yeah.
of weight. Yeah.
Still
all-
we are.
Yeah.
We
Still
still- yeah.
today
Yeah.
and still going
I
through
love
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We're
A lot of
You
calls.
need people don't understand. We need people to make
Yeah.
this vision
yeah.
happen.
Oh yeah. And you got to have a strategic plan. So
Yeah.
So that all happened, and I did my first deal. It was a fix and flip deal, and did pretty well, and just really learned. And instead of, like you mentioned, like taking that money, and buying a Rolex, or going to buy bottles and pop bottles at the club, or go to Vegas and throw it all
You
on
saw
black.
this. He didn't
Like-
do it.
No.
Like so,
He's
so
Let's
telling the
go.
truth.
I stacked, I saved,
Yeah.
and I kept rolling it. I didn't take it out of, it was all under an LLC and a company and a corporation.
Done right.
Yeah, done right.
And that's
I
important.
did the homework, and I figured out
Yeah.
how to create the Sun Biz and all the with the attorneys and the accountants and the bank accounts and
Title
the EINs, and
companies.
so I learned all of that, and then the money went right into that. So sorry, the money went right into the account of the business. And then I found another property and another property and another property. And I had some partners along the way that, we did different deals with. But, long story short, like I said, I want to kind of keep that story short. And then that way we could get into GrowInn Homes. But ended up doing about a little over 170 deals, fixing and flipping properties.
And how many years since 2016?
Yeah, since 2017, 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
And, but
nice.
never took that money and, bought a Lambo. I know guys that, that I started with in, in that same kind of age group. And, they started with
Around the same time.
Yes, around the same time, doing the same thing, and buying the Lamborghinis and the Ferraris and
Chains.
and the chains and the watches and
For real.
the yeah. So we could
Yeah.
talk about a lot about that.
No,
but,
it's real. People
Yeah.
people do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
They call them flash dancers.
Yeah. So you get a $20,000 check,
Yeah, Bobby
and you
Castro,
spend
shout out Bobby.
18,000.
Is that Bobby's thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Appreciate you, Bobby. Much love. If you ever see this,
We all got coaches, guys.
yeah,
Mentors.
that too.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
That's massive. Yeah.
Can't do this
So
on
like,
your own.
yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe we've been blessed enough to like touch someone today
Yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's like it's all
That's the goal.
learned. It's
Yeah.
all learned, man. People did it before us. Like that's the thing. We got to drop our ego.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ask
Oh,
for
yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Ask for help.
And that's why
Exactly.
books are amazing, because literally someone's writing everything that they're giving you somewhat of a shortcut, because there's things that they can't write about, like the LLCs and the
And the
accountants
podcast.
and the title companies,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff that we kind of skip over on a 30-second Instagram reel. but yeah, so like you said,
Yeah.
coaches, man.
Coaches. It's big.
mentors, right? That's what we
Mentors.
talk about.
So Bobby was more of the one that taught us more about multifamily and scaling and growing a business.
he
And
kind of pushed you. He was like
Yes.
he was,
made you
and
really,
Dave was the mentor that taught about like how to make it, and the blueprints and what you have to do every day, the ins and outs, and this is going to happen and this is going to happen.
Yeah,
and
more of like, hey,
like
the mechanics
more
of the-
and the residential side of it, not really commercial. It's more but
It's like that good
nonetheless
entry.
it was an entry, and
Yeah.
learned
There's steps for everything.
learned a ton, and we did about, like I said, a little over 170 property flips, quick turns, if you will, a lot of transactional real estate. And it wasn't until this year where we got into buying our first apartment complex.
amazing.
So,
and
but
how's that been going, man?
but before I get into that, I want
Yeah.
to rewind that a little bit, turn it over to Vince, because
Yeah.
him and I went on a little run together in
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, so my last couple years of baseball, we actually started buying land. So Anthony was still buying some residential fix and flips under.
I remember you
different
telling me
company.
this. You bought a bunch of
Yeah.
land.
Then we ended up buying a few pieces, 46 parcels.
Few.
Some on the East Coast, Martin County to Brevard,
Florida.
All in Florida.
But the majority was on the West Coast, like Charlotte County, Lee County, all up in there.
What
And
was your thought with this? What's the move?
yeah, so this is right around the time we were getting into actually starting to grow food too, which is another story. But
I
we were
remember,
like-
by the way, guys, I just have to cut you off real quick, then I'll let you go.
Yeah.
They, at that time, came to my plant sale.
Yeah, oh,
You
yeah.
three.
Yeah, that's how we met you.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because
Yeah.
they're here right now. And
Yeah,
going.
and to build on what Jack said, we know the power of like leveraging other people when you're new at something. So the first thing we did when we got into plants was meet all the really cool planters in Florida.
who's doing it right?
Yeah.
Go
that
to
are doing
yeah,
it.
exactly.
They live it.
But
yeah.
it's smart, dude.
It's the same story. With baseball, we had to go to the best baseball coaches. When he got into residential fixing, he had to go to the best residential fix and flip coach. Then we wanted to get multifamily, so we got to a like there's a
Facts.
roadmap.
You go right to them.
To the source.
So to back a little bit with the land, we bought 46 lots, and we were thinking of starting to build single-family residential homes on the lots around the gardens, like install the gardens, build the homes, and then, rent out that
Residential.
experience. Residential.
Got
But
it.
we're like, it's not as scalable.
You don't have
There's
much
a lot
control.
of moving parts.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's not
why,
cash flowing.
Why not much control?
Well, because
HOAs?
HOAs or neighbors,
Yeah,
or so a neighbor doesn't like the idea that I'm gonna have fruit trees right next to me.
scale.
So.
Yeah, it's just-
Karens will ruin your
Yeah.
experience.
Karens, yes.
It's true.
Look
Yeah.
out for 'em.
But at the same time,
Interesting.
though,
Yeah.
this whole 46 lot portfolio that we built, we knew that what we were purchasing was a good investment. We had a certain buy box, if you will. Like we liked corner lots that were oversized. Like we tried to
Strategic.
buy the best lot in the
Possible.
neighborhood, like at the time, like that we could.
40 of them.
Yeah, and then we did it 46 times.
46.
There's some commercials sprinkled in, and there's some like
Yeah,
big
yeah.
parcels of land in the middle of a swamp mixed in.
Uh,
But
But all that
anyways,
land kind of went up. Like,
yeah,
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it went up, and over the last
What was
year
the-
and a half, we've sold 27 of them.
Wow.
And we've gotten all
Yeah,
of
we
our...
pivoted.
was that the move? Yeah. What? So that was my
Yeah, we
next question,
pivoted.
bro. What was the pivot?
So
that was it.
just a little bit, I want to tell a little
Because
more in
GrowInn
depth
Homes
on
is
this
within
story.
within like a year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this-
GrowInn Homes is about a year old
Not
now.
even
By
a
the-
year, yeah.
Dude, but cool. Keep going. Because
So-
the background matters.
Yeah.
We're
So
building it up.
So you sold 20 of these in the last year and a half.
27.
Okay.
We got three closing next week, actually. So we're still doing
Wow,
it. Yeah.
cool.
And this is while we're, fixing and flipping homes and with different mentors and trying to, we're on YouTube all the time. We're connecting with people like yourself and going to plant sales and going all over the state, learning about different plant systems and what works here and what works there and
Yeah.
what even are these fruits and Rolinias and sugar apples and
You went deep quick.
sapodillas.
We-
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
extreme.
We're hardcore
3 years.
people. Yeah.
That's 3
They're
years.
extreme.
By the way, guys, they're placed in Hope Sound, which was probably built out, and I'll let you go back into it, like a year into when you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Hope Sound.
Yeah.
They bought a property close 10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Literally planted. There's no grass.
No
all
grass.
fruit
We
trees.
ripped the grass out
production.
first.
Yeah.
That was the first thing
right
we did.
before the rainy season.
Before
you
even
renovated
no
it?
irrigation.
Yeah, before
yeah.
we renovated the
moved in.
house
Yeah.
or moved in, the grass was out and the
I
fruit
remember
trees were
that.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
I was working with you
Let's-
throughout the whole
Yeah,
process.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kami worked with me, by the way, and she crushed the game.
Yeah, she was.
Built a lot
love
of
the
gardens.
and I love the people.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's
let's
what's
bring
right.
it back. Let's bring it back.
We're excited.
Yeah.
So the land. So I wanted to just throw this in there. Vince was playing for the Oakland Athletics at the time.
Okay.
So, and if any of you guys watch and know anything about the minor league baseball system, it's a grind. Like
Oh, yeah.
they grind. Like
Yeah. My first season, before they changed some of the rules, they'd put us on like 20 to 23 game streaks, like straight. So like no
Every day.
weekends. It was
Consecutive days.
Yeah, like and you do
Baseball's
three.
crazy like
you
that.
do,
And
like-
they play every day.
Yeah, you do like 3 games in Vermont, then you'd go to Brooklyn,
in a bus.
then you'd go to Pennsylvania.
In a bus,
And we're
I've heard of
playing.
that.
Yeah, we're playing all these random teams.
Like you're not
So-
getting paid $1 million like these
No,
pro
you're getting
guys.
paid.
You
nothing.
have
But
to
you're
come out of
just in-
pocket. You're coming out of pocket to pay stuff.
to eat
Yeah,
sometimes. Yeah,
He's not even
They've
making
changed
enough
the
money
rules
to
lately
live.
to make it a little better, but
Wow.
when I was in it, it was even like less money. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
why they got sued.
It's tough.
yeah
What?
they've gone through.
Really?
So wait. So let's
lawsuits.
bring it back. So while we went on this run about buying the land, and ideally it was for growing food.
Yes.
It was to grow food. We're like, we were looking at these 5 to 10 acre parcels, and we're like, man, they're a lot of money. So we started. We could talk a whole podcast about this, but
Yeah.
but overhead view, they were tax deed sales.
Yes.
And we could
Auctions.
we could go into all that, but it's kind of more in depth.
Let's
but
talk about growing homes.
But yeah, so Vince was in the minor leagues,
Yeah.
waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning
'cause-
in the hotel lobby.
I was on a different time zone.
Yeah, it was 5 a.m. there, and it was 6 a.m. and then but we'd go over it a little bit. Strategy. Hey, this one we want to bid this.
Yeah.
This one we want to bid that. So he'd be up. I'd be it'd be 3 hours difference, and we'd be bidding on these properties. And we ended up, with the 46, and we decided like that's not as scalable. It's not scalable because if we have neighbors that shut us down, say we build 30 of them, but we have 4 where neighbors are like, hey, we don't want this here, this and that. So
It's chipping away
yeah,
at it.
it's not
not
large,
scalable.
big scale. How
Then
Guys,
we
this
got
is the-
into growing home.
Yeah.
And then
Which
growing
is
homes,
scalable?
yeah.
How is that scalable?
Here we go. So you got our backstory a little bit, and now what we've came here for, which is to talk about growing homes. Kami, start us off. What is growing homes?
Well, growing homes is where real estate, multifamily investing, and food systems meet. Actually, yeah, pretty much. So what we're
So
talking.
what does that mean?
So what we're talking about being scalable is when you are the owner of a property and you have control over the whole property. It's easier to have a food system and take care of the food system and know what's going into the food system versus having a lot of neighbors and
That's
the whole
exactly
thing,
right.
right? So you can
what's-
grow the food. Like,
Kami's making a good point. Guys, this is key because I've dealt with this. We've started 1,000 different little gardens in Palm Beach County.
Yeah.
If someone sells their land or someone decides to build, they don't your garden's gone.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
We
It's gone.
experienced it. Yeah.
So ownership is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to go a little more in depth, instead of having an address here and an address there and a roof here and a roof there, like we want one parcel with, right now we're looking anywhere from 2 to the like 70 unit size range. It's really considered smaller to mid size. Believe it or not, like when you start getting into 100 units or more, you're starting to compete more with like institutions and larger buyers. So
Big
we're
complexes.
Yeah, we're gonna eventually get
We'll
there.
get there.
Let's
but
go.
We don't want to. We want to
Step by
learn.
step.
Yeah,
It's
step
gonna be
by
Like
like
the
step.
whole thing, the step by step of
As
the.
you can see, we've been taking the steps.
We're taking the steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we
it's-
start here. Like this is fucking rad because
Yeah.
we're talking about it
Yeah.
now.
So-
like one day it'll be GrowInn Homes.
1,000 units.
10,000s.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Grant's been a big. You said
Yeah.
10X. Grant's
Inspiration.
been, he's been big.
It
Oh, yeah.
reminds me of that.
Kicking it back to the
Multi.
popcorn days, like we weren't just scraping popcorn and ripping wallpaper back in the day. Like we had the audio, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
YouTube's going on the speaker. Like we were blasting
Grant's lives.
Grant,
Yeah.
all
We
kinds
still
of.
get
Cardone,
connected. Yeah.
Greg Plitt, Eric.
Isn't it
Plummer,
powerful?
all these
ET,
guys.
Isn't it
Super
crazy?
powerful.
Les Brown,
ET.
listen to a lot of him.
You
They-
start reprogramming your brain.
Yeah. And they're speaking to you when you're going through these challenging times. They're literally like, hey, like that's what you signed up for. Like you have to go through these challenging times.
Yeah.
Like it's the adversities that make you stronger and shape who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
like
it's-
that's what we were
So
just
Growing is
pumping.
uncomfortable.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
Growing's
doesn't feel good.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's challenging, and your brain. Talking about biology, your brain doesn't like it.
That's right.
So
They're there to fight or flight.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not here to step up and do it because we want to protect ourselves and our kids.
Exactly. The brain likes what is known, so that's why it's so hard to get out of that comfort
The
zone.
brain likes what's known.
Yeah.
Guys, this is powerful. We got to like know that, be aware of it.
It's
and
part of it.
all day long, forever.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. It doesn't end.
Yeah, it doesn't
Because when you want to keep growing and expanding, there's new levels to it all. And you have to live in that discomfort. And if you're not living in that, then you have to ask yourself, like, hey, am I being the best version of myself? Am I helping enough, like as many people as I possibly can? And like, am I,
Helping
internal? Yeah,
myself,
am I
yeah.
internally becoming better like all around, not just making money, I'm talking health and,
Spiritually,
every which way.
emotionally,
Relationships.
Yeah, relationships,
super
exactly.
important.
Relationships, the quality of your relationships, the quality of your life.
For sure. Yeah. That's
that's huge.
one of the biggest things we've learned this year. Relationships are so powerful, and we've been meeting a lot of awesome people that have really we kind of see it as having multiple mentors. We
Yeah.
could pick the phone up and call people. We had breakfast yesterday with somebody that owns apartment buildings near the one that we own. And he taught us so many things.
I
And I'm
bet.
So
so
many things.
thankful, for the couple hours we spent. So
And if
Yeah.
you have any questions because they have more experience, you could just, hey, what do you do
Decades
in this
ago.
situation?
Yeah.
And they tell you. They tell you. There's no secrets. They're happy to tell you.
They want to tell
They're
you.
excited.
Exactly.
Root for it, too.
Exactly. Yeah.
They remember. They remember
Yeah.
when they stuttered on the phone and didn't know what to say and
Yeah.
what's this and that.
Yeah.
We have.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, we have like belief systems growing up. Yeah, I know I did. Like,
Mm-hmm.
money's this or money, like, they're all, it has nothing to do with anything.
Nope.
They're belief
It's just a
systems.
preconception. That's it.
Right.
It's just something that someone told you and you decided that it was true. So that could change any moment.
Yeah.
You can change any moment. Like the whole thing about money is your root of all evils. That's the lie. Money is an amazing tool
right.
to
It
change, to make things better,
Yeah, it
to change the world.
magnifies.
Exactly.
It magnifies what you're
Yeah,
already doing.
If you're
Talk
not a
about
great
that.
person, money will magnify you, and you might just be not a great person with money. But if we get more like the money in the hands of people that like want to really make a positive change, it just magnifies their reach. But with that reach, you have to take on more challenges
That's
too.
right. And more power, which you have to
More
navigate.
responsibility.
So like, it just
Right.
More
amplifies,
responsibility.
magnifies
Yeah.
everything.
So yeah, it's not money. Money's not the bad thing,
No.
It's really our
It's a tool.
intention and actions, right?
Sure.
But I mean, Vince, thanks for saying that because it just magnifies
Yeah.
what we're already doing. If we had it in the hands of people who are, I mean, shoot, buying multifamily homes and planting bananas everywhere.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what do you guys plan to do? Tell people about your experiences planning, growing homes, like.
Yeah. Who wants to take
Not
this?
all at once.
So
To
so
just-
with talking about a little bit about the property, the first GrowInn Home.
Yeah.
It's on the west coast of Florida, in a small town called Rotunda West. And what we're doing there is we're feeling things out. We didn't like our main home, like we
Full blown system.
yeah, we went in because we planned on living there
In Hopestown.
Yeah, in Hopestown. Like so, there's going to be different levels and manage. We're thinking long term. We're
Yes.
thinking, okay, how are we going to manage this? What about the watering system and the natural fertilizers and
Like, because you
and the
guys want to
mulch
plug,
and-
because sorry to cut you off, because you want to go do this somewhere else. You want to set up
Exactly.
the scalability,
Exactly.
right? So talk about that,
The
like
blueprint.
what you want to be able to call like a landscape company and say, hey, can you come do what you already do and do it here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
how
have
do you
the-
do that? Because that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're still learning ourselves.
Yeah.
We have the real estate background, and we're connecting with awesome people right now too. If we don't know, like, hey, how would you do this? And this came to us. What would you do here? So, and we also we went out and did the legwork on meeting awesome people like yourself and other people around the
thank
state
you.
that your lane is
It's
growing
plants,
food.
yeah.
Like we're not going to sit here and tell you like, hey, Jack, we know how to, like,
Specialization.
even though we do it and we grow food and,
Yeah,
if you
learning.
check out
We're still
our
learning.
page,
Yeah.
GrowInn Homes on any social media
Learning
platform,
quick,
like,
bro. Learning quick.
we're doing it. We're growing food. We're having success, but nothing compared to somebody that's like they're doing it all day.
All
I'm
day,
sure
every
you have
day.
dreams about it too.
I was forming rows before this an hour ago.
So
Planting
that's
carrots.
So everyone needs to have their own lane
Right.
of work. So
Exactly.
it doesn't make any sense for us to, if somebody knows better how to grow food than us telling them what to do. Like that's not.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like me, like trying to go get a deal, like I'm going to call Anthony and we're going to figure it out. That's a good-
exactly.
It's like, it's true.
And I think that's
Unity, the unity of the different
Yeah.
trades makes power.
It's so true. And I appreciate you guys saying that because it's easy to get carried away and it's easy to spread yourself thin.
Yes,
but like,
it is.
imagine just taking, hey, this is what I do better than anybody else and just going with that for years.
exactly.
specialization.
super powerful.
Yeah.
locked in
And
your lane.
it's specialization, man.
Yeah.
And it's like saying no to everything else though.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And saying, no, this is like, we could help you with this.
That's huge. You
Yeah.
know, that because you just get so excited and you're so passionate about so many things that you just get carried away and saying yes to everything. But at the end of the day, you're not going to have enough resources like time to take care of
Right.
everything. So saying no, it's really important and you need to learn how to do that.
That's right.
And not many people talk about that.
Yeah, that's big. It's very powerful. And an example of that, we have people all the time. They reach out, hey, can you help me install this food system? Hey, can we buy these plants or these cuttings? Hey, and then we
Really?
say, and
Yeah.
our
A
answer
lot
to
of
that,
people.
Jack, our answer to that is, hey, we'd love to help you. However, that's not something that we do, but
We can refer
we
you
built
to.
the relationships.
What area are
Where
you in?
area are you in?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're here, you connect with
We
connect
gotta
you with
go.
Jack.
Yeah.
If you're
Or
here, we
girl.
connect you with
It's like
somebody
affiliate.
else.
It's like-
Exactly.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah.
And I'd be
exactly.
happy to be like, Anthony, I'll give you all these plants or whatever commission if you bring me someone awesome in Jupiter.
Or help us install
You're in
something
Rotunda.
epic in Jupiter if we buy an
Exactly.
apartment building
Yes,
in Jupiter.
that's what we'd
Yeah.
rather do.
Yeah.
We'd rather
Exactly.
barter like
I love
that.
that.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
that's
on
the,
your on your project.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, and you asked
Yeah.
earlier, you're like, you want to call up a landscaper, like how are you guys getting help at these properties? And what's really been huge for us is social media.
Yeah,
Dude,
like-
that was exactly what I was gonna say. That's
Big.
insane.
Wow.
Talk about you guys, because you guys are crushing the game.
Yeah, so we're following a lot of Alex Hermosi's methods.
Wow.
And
Layla.
Layla, yeah.
Literally, you
And-
guys are like Alex and
Thank-
Layla.
Yeah, a lot.
Tommy and
So
Anthony,
much.
aren't they?
Yeah.
So much. I
They're a
love
power
her.
couple.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just had
We're
to
different
mention.
though in ways.
No, definitely different.
I love
Every
it. How so?
individual
How so?
is.
Yeah.
I mean, Alec, he's a force, man.
Yeah,
he's
intense.
he's hardcore.
Yeah.
And we're
Are you not?
no, I'm not saying I'm not,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah, Anthony's
humble
a-
enough to
yeah.
know, like, I have
But
a
he
lot
has
to
more
learn.
He's a little
trajectory.
farther
Yes,
along.
exactly.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You what?
yeah.
But you listen to like Stick Figure. You know what I mean? Like there's a
Eating
yin.
organic. It's different.
But you guys
Growing
go hard.
food, it's different.
You guys are operators though.
Yeah.
That's why,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
But dude, you guys are doing that with social media.
Yeah.
Has that been beneficial?
Yeah.
Really
Like literally
beneficial.
all of our accounts were pretty, I think, brand new, in May?
Yes.
So I don't even know how many months it's been.
That's
but
insane.
What is May? How long ago is May?
What is-
6 months.
Yeah, so in the 6 months, we've done okay. Like we're pretty hard on ourselves.
Do you have help? Do you have help?
Yes, we do have help. We have a couple members on our team, our virtual assistant team help, and then we have a couple people, a couple of our friends that live down the road that help us with the different video editing and everything.
Yeah.
The media, yeah.
So you pay them. to
Yeah,
do that.
because specialization. Like
Dude.
we're trying to find deals.
Yeah.
We're trying to, put
Run the
people together.
numbers,
Yeah,
yeah.
Relationships.
underwrite.
Yeah.
We have land we're trying to sell. Like we
A
got
lot of moving pieces.
exactly. We got
Yeah.
CRMs that we're trying to
Build up,
operate. We're
right.
trying to build up all of our social medias.
It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's departments, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning about content creation. That's
Yes.
that's we're studying it.
Yeah.
Alex and we talked about Alex and Lila, but we're studying a lot of other people. You
Yeah,
know,
what-
everybody
what-
kind of has a little
Their own
thing.
twist,
Like, hey, we
yeah.
like this with Alex. We like this with Grant, or
Yeah,
different
exactly.
people.
And then you
different-
put your own twist and
Yeah.
you make it your own.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what Grant Cardone, one of the things he says, money follows attention. So that's why
That's
we started.
exactly right.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he said what he said was people don't buy from who is the best. People buy from who they know.
And they like the most.
Yeah, he
You can
puts-
still be the best. Like doesn't matter, but that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he puts marketing over sales. He said marketing is more important than sales because he's like what you said.
You're just
like,
you're just onboarding.
yeah, like how if you have the best product but nobody knows about it, like no one's gonna buy it. So like
Yeah.
you have to have a really good product and market it so that people will buy
The right
it.
way. Yeah.
Right. They
So,
need
yeah,
to. It's
yeah.
like telling the story about it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, this is why I need it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we're this is the first year out of these 9 years almost now in real estate as an entrepreneur where I'm seeing, like, I've always knew that social media and the power of the internet was powerful, but now it's just it's fascinating.
More clear
Like,
than-
yeah, it's like, hey, this is where we need to be. So we're learning. We're not doing as many fixing and flipping, and we're being more strategic the way the world is right now with everything going on, and the interest rates and all that. So we're really taking our time here, and we're really stress testing things. That's a term that, if this happens, how would this look? Or if
How
this
much would that bump
yeah.
the money?
Yeah,
like, let's say that you
with
didn't.
the market and
I
interest
wanna
rates.
talk something that happened to us in the building. We knew that we needed to work on the stairs, like the staircases, but we didn't know it was so much. It needed so much work, and that's something. Thank God we have the resources to take care of that. But somebody, let's say that they don't, and they didn't account for that. So that's the whole thing about stress
Miscellaneous,
testing.
yeah. So in a nutshell, what she's saying, the bigger the project, the bigger the building, the more have reserves and miscellaneous. And that
Here's
was
20K.
that was
Exactly.
like it is
Yeah.
like it's nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you this is a 6-unit property, so you need a toilet. There's 6, it's 6 units, but 2, so it's not one
12
toilet.
toilets.
It's 12 toilets. So
Yeah.
like everything has the multiple depending on how many units you're taking on at once.
So imagine if it was a 60 unit and you didn't account for the staircases. That's not 20 grand. That's like 120, and then that could make or break your deal. So,
So
it's-
yeah, it's important when you go under contract with a property, really know what your plan is, like your scope
strategic
of work.
plan, yeah.
Which contractors are going to tackle that, and they're really good at the project
The
management.
time frame is big. You have to know, what to do first too. If you do this before you do this, then you may have to do this again.
sequence.
Yeah, the
Yes.
sequence.
and the clear
exactly.
communication with the
100%.
contractors, because there are a lot of times they don't tell you things, they don't communicate properly. So
Yeah.
making sure that you're having that streamlined communication with them on what's going on during the process.
It's so true, right?
Yeah, I like to call
Yeah.
them. You would think they would. You would think they would. You would think they would tell you this. You would think they would. Somebody would tell you this. You would think before they did this, they would do this.
You think they'd take that stump out before they poured a new sidewalk?
Yeah.
But
They didn't.
poured it right.
They
Oh
didn't.
my goodness, right.
Like a lot of stuff like
Right.
A lot of, and then and it's like you mentioned earlier before this podcast. Like the things keep coming.
that. Oh yeah.
They're not going to stop. It's inevitable. Like embrace it. If you're watching and you're really into wanting to be an entrepreneur and go out on your own, I would say don't quit your job right away. Keep that job. And then all of your extra hours, figure out what you want to do. And when you find it, learn it. Put those 3-4 hours instead of watching Netflix or going on the computer, video game, whatever you're doing. Put it into that entrepreneurial vision.
Or
learn
educate
it,
yourself. Invest in yourself. Like it's okay to from time to time you want to decompress and play a little video games or do whatever it is. But at the same time, you need your best asset is yourself. So you need to listen to podcasts or listen to books or
because it is important to retreat, but like every 7 days, you know what I mean? It's not like
for
all the
couple
time.
Hours maybe,
Dude, you're exactly right. Like what you were talking about is like invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't just drop
take
everything.
yourself seriously. Once I started taking myself seriously, it was like it was way better.
And
no one tells you that.
And bringing it back, you got to say no to more things. If you're doing like Anthony's route, which is in his scenario worked best, is before he quit all 4 or 5 other jobs and was a full-time real estate investor. He did the real estate investing slowly got into that, but had the other jobs. But in order to have the time to grow off and be an entrepreneur, he had to say no to things. He had to say no to the parties on the weekends.
A lot of softball. Said no to fishing.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta sacrifice a little in the beginning.
I couldn't do it.
Right.
Couldn't do it all.
Well, I would say you constantly need to sacrifice too,
Yeah.
but it just looks
Different
differently. It just looks
sacrifices,
different.
Yeah, exactly.
But you may have to do it more in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Most likely.
Definitely.
And another thing to talk about the beginning, you're on your own. You're the person saving the numbers. You're the person making the spreadsheets. You're the person writing everybody back.
Making calls.
You're the person calling somebody to call somebody else to remind them to do something. Like you're the person that has to show up and learn it all. You have to know. Like, and it's not something that, like, we talk about mentors. Like that should be your first, like, don't think to hire somebody. Think to get a coach. Say like that's your first hire is your mentor. Is the person, or if you invest in yourself in a club, like there's real estate investing clubs, join that. Don't think, okay, let me hire somebody. No, like educate yourself, get the mentor, spend the extra hours learning that, honing that craft.
I want to add that because in order for you to bring somebody in, you need to have the systems and processes in place so they can perform properly.
So they can be empowered.
Yes.
Wow.
If
They're
you don't
ready.
have that, then what? Like, how are they gonna perform?
It's not going to work.
You you
So
figure
true.
it out.
They're gonna look at you like, hey, what should I do today?
Guys, this is so true. Everyone thinks, by the way, I was just with like another CEO of this company. I want to have him on the podcast. He's like a badass, just like y'all, like has really good things to say. And he told me, he was like, yeah, we did a cold plunge. It was a lot of fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he was telling me, hey, every CEO, that's the myth of the CEO, that we think, oh, if I just had this one person that did all these things, I'd be chilling. I'd be over. Wouldn't be, it'd be easier. It's just a joke because it's not the case.
Yeah.
And it's, And I mean, it's just the truth. And I also think like, like my CRM, you brought up the CRM. Like if you're high level, you have a CRM and you try to capture data and you follow up and all these, you be a professional. Like I don't get that stuff at all. Like for me, it's like, hey, I'm the artist. Like I can't be the office manager. You know what I mean?
Said CRM, and I immediately took a breath.
Yeah,
like that's like my lane that I'm working on. Like right now, it's like.
But it is important. Like what I'm trying to like, you come to terms with it. Like a lot of people have these beliefs, like exactly like us, bro. Where it's like, hey, I don't do the CRM. I'm not doing the CRM. But it's like, okay, then the CRM's not getting done.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Like, okay,
I
do
do
this
this talk with them like early this year. We just subscribed to the CRM, and then we're looking at it, and we're like,
it's just kind of sat there.
We're looking at each other. We're looking at the CRM. We're looking at
we're
each other.
talking weeks, right?
Couple weeks. And I'm like, guys, I got to step away from some of the real estate stuff, and I'll take on the CRM.
And you
stuff.
have been crushing it.
Did you really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Vince
Oh
has been
yeah.
crushing
He
it.
has been crushing it.
I
Yeah.
need a Vince
It's been
Coletti.
like
son.
it's
Land-
been
we're
like
talking-
7 months.
I just need a Vince Coletti to do
Landing
that for me.
pages, we're
Everything.
talking, connecting
integrating all the
Everything.
social medias, the landing pages.
Oh, for real.
Yeah.
Scheduling posts.
Deep.
So we were almost started scheduling posts, but we got some advice from Alex
To not do
Rosie,
it.
not to do it
because it
yes.
doesn't hit.
Weekly.
It doesn't because you have a better chance of like reviewing it once like you're gonna post it manually. Oh, I didn't like this, so I'm gonna tweak it and
a little bit.
Like imagine
Change up a
if
couple
you
words
scheduled
or-
it all. Like
Yes.
if you took 2 days to schedule the whole month. Like what if you're tired at the last couple weeks and you kind of just like you just do it quick, but like it doesn't hit as hard. And like if you're doing it,
It's not fresh.
Yeah, if you're doing
Is
it,
that what
like-
he's saying?
Yeah, it's not fresh.
Interesting.
It's not up to date
And
too.
like
Yeah.
we'll do it where we schedule like maybe a couple days in advance.
Yeah.
But like if you do it like that, you could put some of the stuff happening in the real world into your posts. You know, if something happened that correlated with your post,
You can relate it.
you could hit the algorithm a little
right.
harder instead of if you posted, you know, you're making it for
Yeah.
the end of November and something happens and you don't update your,
right.
you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You have to be on. You have to have a pulse on it.
Yes,
we
sir.
have every Monday we go over KPIs with our team and
with
our,
your socials.
what's
Like,
working.
what's
and
growing.
this
So what's
video's doing-
KPI?
Key
keep-
performance indicator.
Ooh.
That's a good question.
All you permaculture peeps out there, we got to learn that.
Yeah. So here's a mini KPI that I looked at this morning for our Instagram, which is cool. I don't even know if this is good or not, but it's what we're at right now. In the last 30 days, we've reached 35,000 accounts. Wow. Which is cool.
Now
KPI.
think about it. If we had a business and 35,000 people came in.
Or we had to cold call them.
Oh, exactly. Oh yeah, or 30.
That's
yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
right. This is where
Yeah,
it
you
starts.
push a button and
It's powerful.
It's
you know? This
powerful,
person
man.
knows 1,000, and say you have hundreds of thousands. Next, you're reaching millions and millions and millions of people.
yeah, and this
People don't realize
35,000
that's-
in 30 days, we only have right now 1,600 followers on Instagram. So you can see it just goes
Go
out.
follow him right now, GrowInn
Yeah,
Homes.
please.
GrowInn
Please,
Homes,
help us
INN.
out. 2 N's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
GROW.
a good stuff, man. Yeah. And that's exactly it, guys. We don't even know what the future holds. Like, let's be open to all of it
Yeah.
because you don't know who's going to call you or DM you one day.
Exactly.
It's real.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're you
Yeah.
know, we love connecting with passionate people. Who we're trying to target specifically right now is an older owner, like a landlord owner that's owned a lot of properties in their cycle of being a real estate investor, and maybe they, you know, don't want to have thousands or hundreds of properties anymore and have that huge responsibility and you know, we're looking to show them our ideas and what we want to
And
bring
take
to
'em
the
on.
world.
Take them on.
And what we want to bring to
Cool.
those properties,
Yeah.
the green spaces
And like
of those properties.
someone who believes in that vision with
exactly.
land.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
if
it-
anyone out there, I mean, shoot, GrowInn Homes is doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll help.
We've started. We've added a bunch of edible plants at the first property so far. Yeah, and it's all growing from.
Yeah.
We've grown stuff from seed that's already 4.5 feet tall. You know, from what 4 months of growing pigeon peas. They're
Less than 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three-
The
3 months.
pioneers.
Yeah, like we're like Vin said it the
Yeah.
other day. He's like, I don't know anybody growing their landscaping from seed in apartments. And I said, I don't know anybody growing food at their apartment buildings. You know?
Yeah,
So,
we literally like just seeded like a whole hedge one day, and then now it's nice.
Heck yeah.
So and other people we're trying to connect, like yourself and passionate people, and you know, because
Yeah, man.
we're doing this in different.
Yeah, it doesn't have to
areas.
be old
Yeah,
people.
yeah, no, and
older
because
people.
we need to be able to refer people as well. Hey, I want help with my backyard growing food. Okay, well, we're not there, and we're already stretched in a lot of directions. So anybody that's passionate about growing food that's wants to start their business in edible landscaping, you know, let us know.
There's room for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
I
sell
appreciate
plants,
it.
cuttings,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're exactly right, dude. And we've been talking about this from the beginning. I told you guys when you came to the plant sale, I'm like, guys, we need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
It's
a lot,
true.
A lot
Yeah.
of help.
Yeah.
We
Yo.
see what
A
you're
lot of
saying.
help.
there.
We need help?
See what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
And it's all good. And by the way, someone came to me with this billionaire came to me with like agroforestry, brand new untouched piece of land, Wellington.
Wow.
One of my clients who does garden beds.
Amazing.
And I was like, we're like 2 months out on garden beds. Like we're going garden beds, you know, we really got to like help people with that. Cause that's what we're specialists in. Right. And I was like, hey, Syntropic Solutions, my homies, shout out Tiago.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, yo, like, because
That's
it's like,
amazing.
and I want to do more of that. I want to give them like,
Exactly.
That's amazing.
right?
The fact
Because
that, yeah.
they'll like step up and do it the best. I would
Yeah.
be doing them a disservice.
That's amazing.
That for you to be
Respect that.
able to say that and to be aware of
Yeah,
that, like,
it's
hey,
real.
I love what you're doing and I want to help you, but in order for you to help you properly, I need to refer you to somebody
Yeah.
else.
Mhm.
That's big.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Guys, yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's
Dude, I
awesome.
respect you guys, and I really appreciate you guys coming. Like, I hope this really inspired a lot of people to do
Yeah, for
exactly
sure.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. And we heard there was a song.
Yeah. Should we hit it real quick?
I think we should hit the song.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, I love it.
I
I've
did
been
make a
waiting.
song. It is here we go. I'm just gonna throw it down.
There you
It's a
go.
little
Do
cover.
you want a beat? Do you want a beat or anything?
All right, this song is for GrowInn Homes.
Whoop, whoop.
Here we go. Man, I just wanna go flex. Bananas in my yard and on my deck. Man, I just wanna go flex. Yeah, juicing up all the best. Man, I just wanna go flex. I'm with my GrowInn Homes right now. Yeah, I just wanna go flex. Wanna tell the audience how. Hey.
Woo!
Freestyles, thank you.
Okay.
Wow, Vince, thanks for.
I like the jingle.
I'm coming, man. What'd you guys think?
Amazing, yeah.
You like it? Cool.
You should strum it too.
Yeah.
man.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, I learned it yesterday. It's Post Malone.
Okay.
That's how it posts. It's like a pop song, but I made it about Food Forest because that's cool, dude. Food Forests are cool.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
future.
Yeah, we need some more songs about food
Yeah.
for us.
Oh yeah.
More regenerative
Yeah.
future.
for sure.
Yeah. Got to get planting.
Yeah.
Plant.
Well-
What do you say? Plant daily.
Plant daily. Let's get it.
Daily.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. I want to have you guys on again. You guys are awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Let's
you.
do
Heck
it.
yeah.
And we have a podcast too.
Oh yeah, we will have
Dude,
you.
tell people
on.
about it.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Well,
We're
Yeah.
trying to perfect it. You know,
Yeah,
but
we're still learning.
It's in the
Work in
works.
progress.
You know, it's not as professional with the mics, but we're getting there.
You're always testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're
Yeah.
learning. We're a never-ending learning journey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we call this the infinite game.
Yeah.
There's no
That's
no
it.
ending.
That's
there's
it.
always room to
Infinite
get
game.
better.
I
Yeah.
love
For
that.
sure. And
I
plant
believe.
more.
I believe our souls are in this infinite game.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Right?
Exactly.
You guys are rad, man. I appreciate you coming.
Souls.
Yay.
Thank
Much
you.
love.
GrowInn
Yeah.
Homes, thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Jack.
Check us
Okay.
out all platforms: YouTube, GrowInn Homes, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram.
What's the
Threads.
podcast?
Facebook.
What's the podcast?
It's on right now. We're just on YouTube for the podcast, and if you just go
GrowInn
on
Homes.
YouTube, GrowInn Homes, you go into our playlist, you'll see some of our how-tos,
Spell it.
our podcast, GrowInn Homes, GrowInnHomes.
Yeah, and
Put
check out
that.
our website too. We have a lot of great information on there.
Oh, yeah.
And with the numbers there, you could call us. Find the number on website. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll answer. It'll be me you're talking to. So call me anytime.
This is great. Thank you, guys.
Thank
you.
you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
We played a song.
We're in the garden. It's existential.